legitimized by these adulterous times. Are you kidding? Do you think that I am when I tell you that we're living the greatest genocide in history? Filicidal tendencies of a god that's an evil archonic idiot spawning insidious tidings and idioms. What's going on with this system we live in? It's sickening, really. Remember who we are in essence. It's complex to express but so simple to comprehend. Like Buddhic truths that are Tadic truly. We are what we do, we are what we eat and drink and think, what we see and sink into when we breathe the ink that we listen to in music. Are you amused? Are you wooing people or booing them? Are you amusing or bougie? Are you truly or truest? Are you the moodiest? Are you a Rulian senses? Are you a sensi or are you a sesame? Do you use your sixth sense and your seventh and your eighth? Are you a heavenly brethren, a sistren, or one of the fates or destinies you for children? Are you the proof of what kills us when they do to our ilk what we unduly think is acceptable? Are you wretched or beauteous? Are you neither depending? Are you nescience, prescience, or moods that are beyond this? Are you the beautiful dawn? Are you native? Are you métis, mestiza, status or non? Are you the baddest or are you a pawn? Do you lavish attention upon those that do not deserve it? Are you a murderer or are you the victim? Have you heard of what the Queen of England did to children in residential schools? Do you think that I'm joking? Would you choke if you knew she was eating their flesh? Do you do that and enjoy it? Cause it's quite simple to comprehend, like apocryphas that were banned from the Bible, and we cannot pretend that we're not liable when we talk of this honestly. Are you a pawn or are you goddess or god? Do you think there's an option in between this that's non-binary? Do you get it? It's quite simple, honestly. We are his armor, we are the anathema, falsely archonic forces like the Dama, the guardians of the Sangha, galactic anarchic temas de vida y muerte de oro. El sistema es mentiras y penas, pero tenemos suerte, el principio de morales y éticas. Soy prisionero carceral psíquico. I am a prisoner of body and conscience, of mental limited. It's impossible to properly express it, pero el patriarcado es en mi sangre and I cleanse it perpetually with italism and capsaicin, allicin in massive doses to surpass my doshas as a Maharishi with 8 cities. I wish I could flow more intricately to express the masses and then the mess that's inside me to my mind in this zombie apocalypse of genocidal constituents. You see it in hospitals, injections and sickness, wretched citizens, bodies infected, and it's as simple as nutrition for tomorrow's prescience, anarcho-communist feminism, polymorphic existence and intersectionalism. Polymorphic existence and intersectionalism. Get this wisdom. Cleanse your system. Move through the flows of existence. Walk me out of this matrix, I pray the Amal and Asha. I need to fly to Jamaica, Pox spirit inside me is waiting for Guada. I need a vacation, but I need a proper trial that's a lot more than fair. Like trades that are scary and exploiting us daily. Penser l'impossible n'est pas français, faut foncer. J'ai besoin de ma peau foncée d'un sauna. I need melanation and sweat lodges. I need to drive and not get caught up in jobs from assholes. I need my degrees and I need a badge from a precinct of my actual regions. But I'd laugh as I see this. Cara se ta fuck it will do. And I am a Morikawa from Enoch's tribes. I am a lot more than not construe in this epoch, yeah. Yo, we need more forest cathedrals. This place is full of hordes of zombies and evils. I need a lot more than a key and a jimmy. I'll be there in a jiffy. I get that our needs and fears seem a bit iffy, but believe me, if you could achieve, you could believe it. Don't look at me, you can't see me like a crook in a sleeve shirt in a box and are missing goddesses' body parts that are rotting in a green earth as she falls apart and is rebirthed in all of her glory to always blossom. And they will all pay for all of this shit, honestly. All of you motherfuckers, I promise.
So, what's this Sasquatch that you hanging out with them little space widows? It's a bit weird. What's Nanya?
Nanya business, man.
Very funny.
I walk on the ceiling, but not like a demon or like a trickster, absolving the wick of the bleeding eternal scriptures, the seas of the burning wishes who fiend for just work and liquor. A bit of money from the dummies with mouths running, the hopeless sticklers, but we're genies, absolving the floating night. They're stuck, but we believe in the call to the golden fight. We know it's right as we hold to the third eye's sight. These words fly bright and merge my life with the middle earth so bright. These zombie workers are getting hurt by so much strife. That's why I work with these servants of sacred words and cold mics. The multiverse birthed within each verse of this favored world we hold tight. Hold up, aight? We scroll up verses whose known likeness is an ode to the brightest and boldest. No potent curses or omens could brave us. We are as old as the earth and beyond this to agelessness yonder. In the maze of the cosmos we ponder the lost quotes of the awestruck talk of hope in them all as Asha. And all that we focus in psalm psionic dope for your alma. We see what's going on with the fodder of canon society's banters.
Well, yeah, bring me a coffee.
I'll get you one if you tell me what to say.
That's my phone. My phone's dead. Actually, have you got a charger on?
Their laws are offering answers as lies forged in the cancerous tidings of all that they feed us in profit. But we dance with the lions and cheetahs, nahualis tonales with mantras aligning in ethers and rising priestesses, signs of the times they didn't want to teach us. Wanton beings in a quantum soup we didn't want to eat, but we walked the stupas and offered greetings to all that we are in truths like hawks and eagles. We are not the beauty nor the horror of societal toxins and gorgeous precincts, yet perhaps we are both when Aurora sees us. And beyond in the midst of the spectrum we are ghosts, but what we taught to peoples is a lot like the weeds of gardens seeded for our growths to not be the problems they do not see, for there is naught that is impossible when we are growing and evolution is constant. We dead the confusion and nonsense. We dead the confusion and nonsense. I stare through matrixical cubes as the light hues change what I knew about the old into new ways to peruse the caverns of Babylon and beyond. Infinity held in symmetry like a world in the palm. Don't hold it in a fist like chauvinistic pricks. Watch the castle of Pandora lift from the coals of these spits. Molten lava glows from the holes in this kid's strange way of stitching the maze. Lay a mist like the walker of the plains made a vision of his brain splayed out in a mission. Stop us, but they should try to spot us instead. A lot of flows beyond their comprehension, like ganja wafting in visions inside us. We cough from prescience and go far beyond Bodhisvaha. They cough and choke from nescience like soulless offerings. We know what they talk of, they have no clue what we chalk up. People are dying on sidewalks, yet we watch and kill the cops that do that shit like Tupac Amaru. They're so clueless they couldn't construe our idioms honestly. Fuck what they talk of, we got this, yo. They couldn't jot these flows. I wrote this in a few minutes like Doom and Madlib on some off-kilter shit. Bottle of wine and a couple of splits from Narayanas, Dashavataras. I am no one, call me Sunya if you don't remember. No problem, I am the sun that doesn't shine inside of a black hole's concept. Astrophysical bombing with no violence, I got you brethren. We are as lawless as the Wild West back in the days when narcissists would get shot in a second when they talked shit.
going on down here?
Fuck, you're hairy.
Thank you.
You smoke weed?
Smoke it, eat it, grow it by itself.
What do you want to take of this or what?
Fucking oath, man.
Scribble graffiti on clouds, the gifts in our deeds are shrouded, lifting the people to be proud of the essence of dreams. Shrouded in incense we're breathing now as extrasensory speeches, the Tao invincible like wisdom and teachings, empowering Nejeru totemic beings from cowards despicable and devilish demons. These rebels believing things that were born beyond seeming light beings that help with the fight as the kids on the mic are screaming. Simulations like sightseeing, but I ain't just here for the view. The deja vu keeps me true as I remember the moons of Nibiru as I'm weaving through the threads of identity. I am no evil dead facsimile. We breathe in sentient Cimarasta recipes. They talk of vaccinations and masks like Jason. We attack master masons and their plans dwindle instantly. The ancestors' images are the sentient me, no longer hollow from the shallow yet followed energies. The DMT remembers me as entities are blessing me with symmetry within the beat. Synergy and asymmetry, syncretism and senses from endless beginnings, befriending every rebel and destinies.
Yeah, nice to meet you there, Lassie. Call me Wayno.
Fucking cheese, Wayno. So what are you doing down here?
No, I'm a fucking prisoner, man.
We're meant to be mentoring us mentally, omnidirectionally, from goddess to extraterrestrial. I was caught in the alien vessel's thrill, took up in a beam like a dream as the message filled me with the lessons willed by the beings of sentient will. Goblins took over the craft, crash landed macabric mass like the natives of ancient past. Flew on a leaf missing the stream and slid down a blade of grass. Its dew reflected Akashic tracks, went through the jaws of a hole so black that all of life was remembered at last. A might dismembered the past, brought us to a density's aspect that remembered the present, borrowed from tomorrow's meant to be flawless and non-existent. Like Kata and Kali in a time warp, we fly forward to mind lapses like our timeless offsprings persisting. Minds coughing from ganja and tobacco of striving oracles inside us, reborn as we realize the lies and despise them to mind them beyond this respectfully. We saw the hollow depictions caused by reptilians and goblins and caused no wars within them. Instead of lead, we instilled them with sorrowless mentions from all the species that eat leaves and authored peace with the saurians, or its opposite theses like capybaras and kikwajus.
Passing through.
Walk in the caverns of thought, memento mori the causes. I remember the top of the sacred plains, the most ancient of minds walk from Saturn and fly on. No matter as I've spawned from the ladder of time's song, the Tathagata of air gathers, the laughter of vibes dawns. Never captured by life's pawns as this rapper's night's oracle, the servant of time goddesses who work with the minds gone. Another flight log, I'm like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? This time is not what I think it, non-binary, but I get that what I want is deceptive. We might have wrought some projections of dying toxic and malevolent forms of writhing and coughing denizens that couldn't quite have thought what we meant was to be life's honor and prescience. Enticing forms of the goddess try to walk us to sentiments far beyond any light forms of the dark and its opposition. They are authors within, we are the watchers and kin of all the sentience, from the dust that dissolved to the dawn of beginnings. We trust in to solve all of this that we're caught into presently. They thought us martyrs and pillars like Islamic gods before the Kaaba existed, but we are not of their essence, not of this terrestrial consciousness, and still we are partly indigenous. So Mother Gaia, Pachamama is always the divinity we honor infinitely. Mother Gaia and Pachamama is always the divinity we honor infinitely. We are limitless kindred, get this. Evermore, never after. is upon us. Fema Nuericus dawning in Homo sensorium. Tesla centers with Lottie and their offspring. Sid is no longer vicious, we are all evolving like insects, fauna and flora, with the poisons of falsely global consortiums. Globalizations and economics are decentralizing. The queen is full of her spleen and will be no longer. Hasta la victoria como honesto siempre. Tú sabes, hermana, hermana, hermano. Las hijas de las calles son mutantes bellísimas y famosas como Kali de Sandovala, Ophidia y Kabidni. The dark one, the goddess like Bodhisattva supreme, is always evolving. We are dreamers and seers, peoples of diasporas, no longer forgotten like evils inverting in purpose. Archonic beings will be archangels, shamanic, like they were always meant to be. From the progeny of Ajahn, Namdev and Sant Mat to seek warriors and connoisseurs like Anevika and Neva. La Nieve de Aher is evolving tomorrows like Neha and islands ever after. Matriarchal, nevermore shall any of these liars prosper or live in this era of time, I promise you. Nevermore shall any of these lies prosper or live in this era of time, I promise you.